Welcome back to Ecologic Gecko. This video is to announce that summer season 23 in Jinxland is almost over. This is the last video of the summer season 2023, and then we'll be heading into Autumn Watch 2023. So let's take a look at some of the highlights over this summer season. Um, so we have the new edition of the marjoram plant, which seems to be doing well. It produced lovely pink, purpley flowers in July and August. It is slowly dying back a little bit, but should hopefully come back to life after the winter. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So that was one highlight. Earlier on in the season too, I think it could have been actually late spring when I added this gecko cave. And that has really been super beneficial for Mr. Jinx. He spends a lot of time in there. So he's got the choice of either hiding in there, or in his log hide over there, or in the sort of multitude of hidey places over on this side here, the warmer side, as well as in the food forest sort of area over there. But he does really like this limestone kind of rocky cave area. So that's definitely worked a treat. What else? There's been a lot of bug activity. We've had locusts grazing down the plants, and we've had crickets chirping away, and signs of breeding activity with the crickets. There has been little tiny crickets foraging around. I haven't seen them lately. They could well still be in there. They just might be difficult to see. But they have definitely been breeding this season, as well as dubia roaches. They've been chirping away a lot. The darkling beetles, as you can see, so the superworm, they started off as a superworm bug, and then they pupated into these darkling beetles, and they have been popping up throughout the last couple of months, I would say. And normally they sort of die off over the winter time, but yeah, we'll see about that. But there's several of those in there. So it's been, and the dairy cow isopods as well. They've been pretty busy. Though they have quietened down a little bit now. I've added a few more in this evening, along with a bunch of locusts and some mealworms and dubia roaches. So basically I've used up the last of the bugs from the bug hotel. I mean, of the locusts, there's still mealworms in there and a few other bits, but there's no more crickets, and I don't think there's any more dubia roaches or anything like that in there. So basically we're heading into autumn now, and so this is the time of year where I stop buying food from shops. So I use up all the food that I have left over, well, not all of it, because, well, if I just show you, there's still lots of isopods, mealworms and whatnot in there, which will break down this into smaller kind of more sort of soily kind of stuff. There has been green foliage in there. I stuck some bramble leaves in there for the locusts to munch on, so they have been munching on that for a good few days, and they've kind of eaten it right back. And then I've added those locusts into the enclosure this evening. So I've got no more locusts left other than the ones that are in here. There's probably about 10 plus in there now. So they'll quite happily munch away at the plants in there, which I don't mind because there's plenty of foliage in there at the moment for them to eat. So long as they don't completely decimate my marjoram, we'll see about that. Maybe the smell of the marjoram will put them off. We'll see. But yeah, so the plan now is to stop buying bugs from pet shops until the new year. There is plenty of food in there to see him through the winter. And usually he will start slowing down in approximately a couple of weeks, few weeks. And then he did last year. He probably will do the same this year. He's not as active this evening because it's cooler outside and it's about 20 degrees in the enclosure now. And it'll probably dip a little bit in the night time by maybe a couple of degrees perhaps. And so he's starting to sense the shorter day lengths and the cooler temperatures, which is making him hide a little bit more. But he has been very active up until this evening. So he's just chosen to laze about tonight and doesn't want to come out. But that's a combo of probably eating a lot last night, which he did. He was on a bit of a killing spree. And plus the cooler temperatures today. It's really, that autumn kind of feel is really biting today. So the temperatures have dipped. But there's plenty of food in there to keep him going now. So there's no need for me to go out to the shops. These locusts will probably last at least a week, if not more. I mean, there's quite a lot in there. So, when he's active, he would probably find them very quickly. But there's no way he'll eat 10 in one night. So at this time of year, he does usually eat more. He could probably go through about 3, maybe 4 locusts in one night if he was feeling that hungry. And this is the time of the year where his body starts preparing for hibernation. So he starts to eat more. But there's enough in there now to keep him going. So the Gecko Café is now officially closed for 2023, and we look forward to reopening in the spring of 2024. So good night, guys, and thanks for watching.